It's about to be interesting.
And welcome everyone. This is the Blue Devil Sports Network. I'm your host, Sarah Fuller, and with me today I have Coach Luke Hall for the boys and girls soccer program here at Elbert County. Coach Hall, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So I think how we'll split it up is we'll split up you talk about the boys team and then talking about the girls team.
All right.
Just to kind of start us out and get us knowing your teams individually, tell us who you have for the boys. Anybody that's kind of a leader type position for you on the boys team, and then give us a rundown on how they're doing so far.
All right. Well, this year we got a couple of juniors that have had to step up and kind of take the lead role with a couple cousins, and Alvin and Ronnie Medellin, and another 3-year starter in Agzi Bernal. They're kind of the ones that have been playing for 3 years now, so they're kind of stepping up into the role to be the leader and take control of this team. A lot of freshmen on the team and a lot of underclassmen that are going to get some playing time, but we hopefully lean on these upperclassmen, and hopefully they'll play well.
How's and how do you see them working together? I think what I've noticed is you have a really new, fresh roster compared to a lot of the return. You have a good bit of returners,
yep.
But equally you have a lot of newer people. Kind of tell me what you're trying to do as the season goes on. I know we're kind of midway-ish.
About a third of the way.
Third of the way through the
yep.
season. What are you trying to work on as far as chemistry, getting these guys to work together and gel?
Right now, a big thing is communication. I think the upperclassmen definitely know how to play together and move as a team, and I think the underclassmen definitely have to learn to communicate with them and listen to their P's and their calls and work together as a team right now. So,
are there any of the younger kids that you have been impressed so far with the season? For the guys?
Agzib's younger brother, Jetsi, as a freshman has stepped up really big, played really hard in the midfield. And then a couple of other guys that have some family members on the other teams, but between Dylan Badillo and Axel Reynoso, they definitely, as two freshmen, definitely have showed out and are going to get a lot more playing time for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing with any athlete, when they're coming in from the middle school and then they make that jump to high school, I mean, it's a big difference for a student athlete. And especially, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if the time difference for the games are different between middle school and high school. It's the same.
It's the same.
But when you are playing in a middle school atmosphere and you move to the high school, there's a lot of motion.
Yep.
I mean, those that might not know soccer in and of itself, the true game, you're moving the entire 90 minutes. I mean, you've got that halftime between the 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, 40 to
You're
80
good.
minutes, the 40-minute mark. And then you get some rest in, but from those 40 minutes each half, it's not, I mean, they're not stopping the clock. The clock's running.
Correct, yep.
Kind of give us, an insight on your strategy of utilizing that time, keeping them fresh for that fresh-ish for that full 40 minutes so that towards the end they're able to compete.
I think the biggest thing right now is getting subs in and rotating, especially with the freshmen that are not used to running in the size field that we play on compared to the middle school. And especially at the pace that we play at the high school level, that getting those guys rotated in and out and being able to communicate with them when they do get subbed out to help them stay fresh and be able to adjust throughout the game.
Any highlights that you've noticed so far? I know in the pre-region play, you kind of play some teams that are bigger schools and private schools. Were there any highlights that you saw, just changes and improvements that you saw from the start?
I do think the freshmen and the underclassmen are definitely starting to step up a lot more, and I do think that the upperclassmen are starting to take control of the game a little bit better than they were. I think we're starting to get slowly better at communicating and just playing with higher intensity. I think we were really sluggish out the gate, and I think we're finally getting to the point where we're going to be able to fight back and put some goals in the back of the net.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've seen like the confidence kind of build across the board, because it's a different matchup of kids in places. Now, some are returning to their normal spot, and some may have had to step up in a way. But you've seen the confidence grow on them being more aggressive in certain aspects, but then finding that patience along the way. Because it's not just – soccer's a game where it's not all guns blazing the whole time. You have to – it's almost a chess match in a sense, where the players are moving around, and actually the angles of one pass here and then you have someone open on the opposite field. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we kind of depend a lot on the upperclassmen to be able to understand that where the passing lanes are and where the switches might come into play, and how to move and play those passes off and play off the ball compared to on the ball. And I think that's the biggest key for the underclassmen is learn to play off the ball, because off the ball is almost, if not more important than playing on the ball. So
Right. So, all right, well, let's move on to the girls for right now. Tell me who you have. Are there a lot of returners? Are there a lot of new people? Give me the makeup there.
I think it's kind of similar to the boys, where it's a lot of underclassmen, especially new players compared to old players this year. I do think we have a few upperclassmen that are having to step up a lot more, and Kimberly Hernandez and Melanie Badillo. Those two definitely are going to have to be the two key points on this team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And hey, probably one of the best goalies we've had in a long time, and Kendall Hudson returning for her second year now is definitely going to have to take a step up and play her role and be a leader back there in the backside.
Any younger girls that you have seen promising coming in? I know that Denise is a coach that is mainly for the girls, but you work with both of them. So anybody that you've seen on the girls' side, younger coming in?
I think the biggest one right now, and she's actually already scored her first goal for the career, is freshman Bella Powell. So she's going to play up front, and she's going to hopefully get a lot of goals scored. We're losing a lot on that side of the field, so we're definitely going to try to replace that somehow the best way we can. And I think she's going to be a key part in replacing those players we've lost. So
Okay. Any positive insights you have on the girls' side so far?
I think they're slowly coming around to be able to play together. I think, like we've said with the guys, there's a lot of younger players and a lot of key freshmen that are going to get some playing time that are just having to learn the game, how physical it is, how fast-paced it is, and how much we have to move around. And it's not just standing and watching soccer, it's playing soccer, and it's a full 80-minute game. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, Coach, looking overall, one thing that is different, and it's different in other sports, is teams come in and you get to play in the Granite Bowl. And the atmosphere that you have of the fans there is different. Tell us, give us a little bit of how that helps your team, gives you the advantage, and then just how the fans help in that scenario, playing in the Granite Bowl of all places.
I do think it's a great place to play in, and I think the way it's designed and built is the sound is very loud, and we have a lot of very passionate fans and parents and family members of each player. So, and I think they tend to come together and they help our girls and guys out and definitely make it an experience. And I feel like most coaches, when they come play us, they know what they're getting into when they walk in that stadium, and they're ready for it, and we have to just use it to our advantage.
Exactly. Well, Coach, anything you want to say kind of to round up what we've talked about, any shout outs or any encouragements to those that haven't come to a soccer game?
It's definitely a young season. We just started region play last night, and I'm definitely trying to get this season going back in the right direction that we want, and we're making progress. Things are looking up, and we've got some positive improvements, and we're going to try to build from there.
And when's your next home game?
The next home game will be March 17th, so it'll be about 2 weeks from now against Barrow Arts and Science, which if you've never been to that game, that is one that is emotion-filled and an incredibly fun game to be at.
So definitely need the fans.
Show up, be loud, have a great time.
Exactly. That's one that we definitely need the fans and anybody in the community. If you haven't been to that game, that's one we can definitely use your support.
It's really exciting.
Exactly. Well, awesome. Thank you, Coach Hall.
Thank you
we
very much.
appreciate you taking that time. We'll take a break as we kind of switch over to our next coach here in just a second. This is the Blue Devil Sports Network. And welcome back to the Blue Devil Sports Network. I'm your host, Sarah Fuller, and now with me, I have Coach Bo Kidd here for the tennis team and the tennis program here. Coach, I know you've got kind of a younger roster on both sides. I was able to make it to a match not too long ago. I'm hoping to get to the ones next week that are home. Give us a rundown on both sides, boys and girls. Who you have, who's leading in a sense for you right now this season?
Our boys team is incredibly young. We have all freshmen and sophomore except for one junior who plays at the bottom of the starting lineup.
Gotcha.
Everybody is freshmen.
Yeah.
Our number one singles, Adrian Jenkins, he's only a sophomore. Already, just to give you an idea of how much he's improved, last year a match that he lost pretty bad, just last night he beat the kid 13-11
Oh, wow.
in the third set tiebreak. So not only are we young, but we're improving. I mean, boys-wise, it's looking really, really good, really promising.
Yeah.
Same with the girls' team. We have tons of freshmen, tons of sophomores. We have two seniors at the top, they're pretty good, but everywhere else at the bottom of the lineup, it's all freshmen, sophomores, and one junior. So it's a good mix on the girls' side of youth and experience, and we've already matched our win total from last season. So I think we're gonna have a good year this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've barely kind of gotten in the region. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we've only played 2 region matches.
Okay,
so
yeah.
far.
So you've already reached that similarity from last season.
Yeah.
That's encouraging. That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about maybe your number 1, 2, and 3 on varsity, and the number 1. Do y'all play both doubles, or is it just one?
We play 1 doubles and 2 doubles.
Okay. Give me, who do you have kind of regularly in the lineup there for you?
So for our girls, our number 1, she's a senior, Emily Poon. She's actually 6-0 this season.
Okay.
So she's really good. She's almost a guaranteed point every single match we play. Number 2, we have Gracie Kidd, also a senior. She's actually signed to play college tennis at Emmanuel University.
Okay,
So we have a good 2, number 1 and number 2 on the singles. And then our number 3 is a freshman, Ella Fleming.
Okay.
And then in our doubles, we have 2 twins. We have Ashley and Kimmy Sanders that are also playing doubles for number 1 doubles. And then our number 2 doubles on the girls' side is Journey Porter, who's a junior, and then Jasmine Ellison, who's a sophomore.
Okay.
So a good little mix there on that side.
Yeah.
Our boys, number 1, Adrian Jenkins, who's a sophomore. And then we have 2 freshmen. For the rest of the singles, we have Asher Davidson and Thomas Huell, who both played middle school last year, so they have some experience, but this is their first year playing high school. So they've had some good matches, but it's good learning experience for them.
Yeah.
And then our doubles, number 1 doubles, we have Noel Key, who is a freshman, and Luke Powell, who played last year for us, who's a sophomore.
Okay.
And then we have 2 new guys. We got Avery Newman, who's a freshman, and Cooper West, who's a junior, but they've been putting in a lot of work, and this is their first few months playing tennis, and they're already winning some matches. So very, very promising.
Yeah. You know, tennis is a sport that, you don't really understand the skill that needed until you're in it.
Yeah.
And I'll say, me personally, I have a softball background, and when I've gone in to play tennis, you just don't hit as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a finesse to make it, to keep it there. And those that haven't watched a tennis match or haven't actually tried to compete in a match before, it's hard for you to really understand without being there and watching these kids really put in the effort and put in the competitiveness. Kind of speak on that, especially these young kids coming from the middle school, going to high school level. How important is it to get the reps and the skill in for them?
It's really important, and even the first few matches, because in middle school, everything's a bit slower. People aren't hitting the ball very hard. They're not playing as long of matches. And honestly, people don't, the intensity isn't there. So some of the first few matches that they played, the intensity was up, the balls are hitting harder. Instead of playing 1 set, they're playing 2 sets. So it took a while, but over the course of matches and then having more practices, they've grown and they've gotten kind of used to it. And so now, instead of being, I wouldn't say scared, but not being prepared for what the match is going to happen, they're already as freshmen prepared. They know what to expect, and that's a good thing to see.
Absolutely, especially moving forward. I mean, you've got a year of progress and growth under you on the varsity level, and then as they continue to get there, I mean, it's just going up from here. And then obviously, tennis is an individual sport in a sense, but in this setting as a high school, it's a team aspect. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, it's actually, for a lot of teams, that's the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Because it is so individual, and it's hard to think that you're a team. But already, you know, everything from, we do a chant at the beginning of the match.
Okay.
Telling each other, not just the coaches telling the players, but even the players telling each other, hey, cheer for your teammate when they hit a good shot or when they play a good point. Stuff like that. When you get into a tough match, it's really easy in tennis to feel like you're alone, because it really is just you. But we've been able to build a team atmosphere where even when you're not playing your best, you know that there's someone outside the fence on the sideline who has your back. And sometimes that's the difference. Like in our match yesterday with Adrian, that was really the difference. He knew he had 13 other kids right behind him that, win or lose, was going to pat him on the back. And that's why he won. That's really the big difference.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned when I was talking to Coach Hall, soccer being a chess match. Tennis is a chess match in and of itself. I mean, you have one, now correct me, I may use the terminology wrong. You've got a game that you're playing, and then you have to win that game. Is that where it's the love 15, 30?
We have
give
points.
me the rundown.
So the points are like love, 15, 30, 40,
Okay.
deuce, stuff like that. Once you get to those, once you get to 40, and then you win the next one, you win a game.
Okay.
And you have to win 6 games to win a set.
Right.
And then we do 2 out of 3 sets
Okay.
to win the match.
Okay. So it could be as short as 2 sets back to back you win, or you could extend. I mean, tennis matches can go really, really short depending on who you're playing and how well you play, or it can be like a long tiebreaker scenario.
We've had a 3-hour match this season already, and then we've had 2.5-hour matches. So and then we've also had 40-minute matches.
Yeah.
So it really just depends. There's no time. Everything's based on getting to a certain score. So that you never know when someone asks, how long will a match take? I can't give them an answer.
Exactly. Well, tell me how you prepare your kids for that scenario. I mean, it could be, now it's power-ish based on the hits that you make or the finesse, but you have to have the endurance to last a possible 3-hour long competition when you're playing. How do you prepare your kids for that?
Some of it's conditioning, just running, doing line touches, things like that in practice. For me, especially when I was in college, the big thing is playing a lot of points and sets at practice, and you can't really get adjusted to playing long matches unless you play long matches. So doing it in practice is really, really important. And also in tennis, every time we switch sides, we're allowed 1.5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Or in between points, USTA and GHSA rules are 21 seconds. And I tell my players, not only physically should you take that time, but also mentally, go to the towel, wipe your face off, take your time. Not only can you get a breather, but also you can just kind of calm down, because the match gets so intense.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nice to just kind of relax and calm down. And it makes these long matches not feel as stressful when you just slow down for a little while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, the physicality needed, but also the mental drain that a tennis match can have. And you're outdoors. I mean, y'all have played in some cold weather, I know, and now it's about to heat up. So these kids have to be prepared for that setting. And just something that these athletes, like I said, those watching from the outside in may not understand, but they're having to be prepared for that scenario as well. How do you, let's talk a little bit about the mental game. How do you prepare these kids mentally to get them
This
ready?
was a big thing yesterday, actually, when we talked after our match, and we were talking about Adrian's because of how close it was. We had an issue, a player on the other team, we don't have refs, did something you could call cheating. And player was upset, and what I told them is, like, realistically doesn't matter, because it's just 1 point. And if you get so worked up over 1 point, you forget the 10 or 15 other points that you have to play right after it. So the big idea is to just not let anything, we usually say we're going to be like goldfish, because they have about a 5-second memory. So anytime something bad happens in the match, you just have to forget it and move on to the next thing. So that's usually the mindset that we've been trying to instill.
Exactly. And like you said, the younger kids, they're figuring that out as they're getting older, you know, just moving from one thing to the next. And you know, I forgot, you know, there's no officials at the high school level. It's just honor system in that sense. But yeah, no, well, kind of just to wrap up, anything you want to say to anybody, to those out there, fans, you know, I'm going to try to get to the middle school and have support there. How beneficial is that for your kids?
It's very beneficial, and something that not a lot of people realize is in tennis, they think it's very, very quiet, but you can cheer in between every point. And
Yeah.
our last few matches, we've gotten especially loud, and some teams don't like it, but our team loves it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if anyone does come to our match, be loud and bring the points, and honestly, be a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We love it.
Exactly. When's the next home ones coming that are coming up?
Our next home match will be this upcoming Wednesday. We play Banks County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you actually have a couple back-to-back next week?
Yes. So we were supposed to play Commerce, but that one has been moved. So we have Wednesday, Banks County, and our senior day is this upcoming Thursday against Franklin County.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, we definitely want the community to be out there and support. Coach, thank you so much for coming and talking about your kids. And that's one, you know, it's very kind of similar to some other individualized sports where not a lot of people may come, but, you know, that support is so necessary and needed. So thank you so much for giving your insight on that. We'll wrap it up. Next week, we will have a couple more coaches, and we will show some support for these athletes. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. This is the Blue Devil Sports Network.
This has been a production of Elbert County High School.